Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the 2021 Open Design Afrika Family Makers Day, which is sponsored by the Western Cape Department of Cultural Affairs and Sport and done in partnership with the V&A Waterfront and Decorex Africa. My name is Ellen Fishert and I'm a proudly African impact entrepreneur and an empowerment activist based right here in Cape Town. I am honored to be facilitating today's Family Makers Day and wish you all loads of fun. May your imagination, skills, aspirations, and creativity expand beyond your wildest imaginations. Before we start the program and a couple of interviews we have lined up for you this morning, we are quickly going to hear from the founder and CEO, Sune Stassen, who will share Open Design Afrika's message to the world.
Warm greetings from beautiful Cape Town, South Africa. I am Sune Stassen, a designer, educator, impact entrepreneur, and the founder and CEO of Open Design Afrika. I always look at our man-made world through a design lens, with the human race at the helm as the chief designer. For generations, we have successfully engineered a destructive and unjust world for living in. At Open Design Afrika, we believe that collaborative, creative intelligence is a superpower. We also believe that every child and citizen should have the right to develop it. This will enable and empower everyone to confidently contribute to the future making of a world we can all feel proud to live, work, and play in.
Open Design Afrika calls on
all Africans
and people from around the world
to action small seeds of change.
everywhere.
Because collectively, the impact will be massive.
Today, we have the most important design brief to write in the history of mankind to secure a thriving future for humanity and the planet. Our African humanist philosophy of Ubuntu beautifully defines that I am, you are, because of who we all are. Let's design our futures together.
When you expose citizens and children of any age to fun, creative, and playful experiences like we do at Family Makers Day, they will start to develop creative intelligence, which includes skills such as empathy, emotional intelligence, complex problem-solving skills, critical thinking, and so much more. These are vital future-making skills. Therefore, we at Open Design Afrika believe that the collaborative, creative intelligence is a superpower and that every child and citizen should have the right to develop it. Our experiences are always mindfully crafted and selected to inspire, change mindsets and behavior, develop new skills, and to ignite new solutions and aspirations for the future. To date, Family Makers Day has always been a favorite with fun-loving families and friends because we offer such an a la carte menu of different makers experiences for people from different walks of life. In the past, when we could still host Open Design Afrika Festival as a live event, many children and adults from disadvantaged communities have, for instance, experienced the magical combination of creativity and technology, like stop animation or virtual reality at our Family Makers Day for the very first time, and it's incredible and quite profound to see how these life-changing experiences occur for them. Today we will be offering a series of online and in-person workshops, dialogues for and by the youth, and eager demonstrations for children and families globally who are eager to explore, experiment, create, innovate, and play and learn together. Since registration has already closed yesterday for most of our workshop, we hope that you are ready with your tickets in your hand to join the fun at your selected creative experience. For those who are joining creative experiences online, please make sure you check your emails if you have not yet received the link to join your particular workshop online. And if you are only joining us for the opening and the interviews we have lined up for you this morning, then you are already in the right place. Let's have a quick overview of the program today. Until 10 o'clock Central European time this morning, and I say Central because everyone is joining on from all over the world, you can look forward to the following interviews that will be live streamed to this channel. Interviews include the energetic team from Captain Van Plastic, and interesting conversations with Sunay Stassen, our CEO, and Srini Srinivasan from California, who is currently the president of the World Design Organization, as well as Anita Bloom, the creative director at Decorex Africa and 100% Design South Africa. Then, between 10 and 11:40, we will live stream the Captain Van Plastic workshop, interview the My Machine South Africa team, and join their online workshop, as well as join other interesting conversations between Sunay, Ralitza Deborah from Ghana, and Chris Pandolfi from Canada, who will be telling us more about the Global Young Designer Circle. For our last interview of today, which will kick off at 12 p.m., we will catch up with Hector Grimaldo, all the way from Vietnam, before he and his team present the Change Makers at 3 p.m. today. Hector is the founder of Dreamland Eco English and co-founder of X Talks, World Listens. This event will also be live streamed and to this channel, so you don't need to go anywhere else. And by the way, if you want to be a participant and not only a viewer, then you can still join X Talks for Youth Change Makers on Zoom if you register between 2:30 this afternoon Central European time. Our online workshops that our participants will be enjoying today include the likes of learning the magic of augmented reality with Basso, the founder of Sisando Tech. This is a full-day workshop that will teach you all the basic tricks of the trade and more, so you can confidently start to design awesome online experiences for your friends, followers, and even your business clients. iZone Hub in Zimbabwe will host an introductory workshop to computer programming from children from the age of 6 and older, especially for the younger kids who are showing a keen interest in designing their own computer games. At 11 o'clock this morning, Heloda from Cape Town will start a 3-hour exciting workshop that will teach you how to build your own personal, authentic brand. This is ideal for many of us who are at the brink of rebooting our lives. We are also hosting 3 in-person events at the V&A waterfront. Cape Town's iconic Zuidmaker will be hosting inspiring spaces for kids between the ages of 6 and 13 years old. This experience includes an exciting treasure hunt type of the Zuids, where they will learn first about the incredible architectural design of the building, its history, and the ideas that inspired its transformation into the first museum for contemporary African art. Next, they will visit the Center for Art Education at the Zuids, where they will experiment and explore the 3D properties of paper, plastic, and recycled materials. My Machine South Africa will also host their Design Your Dream Machine at the Zuids, a workshop that will truly develop and expand the children's imagination and develop many other future-making skills. Lastly, the long-awaited new addition to the V&A Waterfronts family, the Makers Landing, will between 10 a.m. and 12 p.m. host 2 Make for Good workshops at their famous kitchen. Parent-child teams who have already signed up will contribute to the Ladles of Love food drive. All sandwiches that will be made today will be donated to Ladle of Love's communities in need. Remember to tag Open Design Afrika and use our official hashtags when you share your experiences on social media. Our tags are hashtag ODA 2021, hashtag Open Design Afrika, hashtag Small is Massive, hashtag Family Makers Day. Once again, thank you again to our sponsor, the Western Cape Department of Cultural Affairs and Sports, and our partners, the V&A Waterfront and Decorex Africa. We're first going to take a quick break, and we'll be back at 9:10 for our first interview that we did with Captain from Plastic earlier. See you shortly. Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Open Design Afrika. We are here back at the waterfront in this beautiful setting this morning. Thank you for all of you that have been showing us love on social media. Please remember to tag us. It's hashtag ODA, hashtag Open Design Afrika, hashtag Small is Massive. I'm really, really excited to introduce you to today's session, our first session. There's lots of activity. We're going to be talking a lot, but we're going to be doing a lot. And I'd like to welcome my 2 guests. So on my right-hand side, I have Captain Younger, as you can see. Welcome, Captain Younger.
Aye,
aye. And on my left-hand side, I have Talitha from the Two Oceans Aquarium Foundation. Welcome.
Thank you.
Great to have you guys here. Captain Younger,
yes.
What brings you and what brings Captain from Plastic to Open Design Afrika? Tell us what it's about.
As you said, small is massive, and I think what makes sense is Captain from Plastic molding small minds to think about the future and having a bigger impact. Just a little background on what Captain from Plastic is. It's an environmental literacy program that goes into schools and teaches the mindset that trash is no trash, but it's treasure. In that plastic or plastic waste can be valuable because of its impact it has on our lives, and we need to conserve it and make sure that it lasts longer used in the right way. So it needs to be taken out of the environment and put into recycle systems and systems that make it sustainable for our planet. Yeah. And ideally,
and how do you do that, Captain from Plastic?
Yes, so ideally we'd go into a school or would present a program to the ages of 6 to 12 years, and the program is designed to be immersive through storytelling, gamification, as well as action treasure hunting. So we would divide the program into 4 areas where, one, the pirates, as I am, or the friendly pirates, they clean up the environment. So you tell them a story about Captain Van Plastic, who is an experienced treasure hunter, but is not so good at hunting for gold like the other pirates in the sea. So his friend Finn gets sick, and they go out in the sea to find a cure for him. And then they find out that plastic is harming Finn as well as the other sea animals. And that just makes the impact so much bigger in the faces of young people that we present the program to. And the second part would be obviously some stats around how the ocean is affected by the plastic that we consume or misuse. And then lastly, we'd go into a treasure hunt where the little pirates go into a treasure hunt and look for all the plastic that they could find, take it out of the environment so that the sea friends can be safe. So that's the setup of just using that human experience to turn minds so quickly in that way.
And do you find that a lot of children don't know why plastic is harmful or litter is harmful, for why we shouldn't be littering?
I will say that I think children do know that, but it's just they need someone to constantly remind them or give them an experience, because I think the generation before them was the generation which had more things to worry about, in a sense, and this conservation and thinking about our future is a thing that our generation needs to take into our hands and transfer it to the next coming generation, because that's our plight. How do we make this planet stay longer for us?
Yeah.
In that sense, so the spark is there, but needs someone to ignite it.
Great, and that's what Captain Van Plastic obviously does.
Certainly.
So once you've gathered all of these treasures, what do you do with them?
So currently, Captain Van Plastic is looking at a circular system where if we go onto the waterfront area, for instance, and pick up all this trash, then what happens to it? We want to reduce the impact on land in itself. So what we want to do ideally is have this massive collection, then take it to a maker that will possibly take it and make it into something else. And one way we want to do this is we have some partners who take this trash and make it into something else, like a bench that will go to a school or go into an organization that is a conserver. So that's the circular thinking that we want to create, a circular economy that will have this loop that is continuous. If you collect, it turns into something that the kids could see on their school card.
And therefore, the trash is treasure because it
Exactly.
can be reused. Captain Younger, I see that you've got a beautiful article a beautiful eye patch that you're wearing. Tell me more about this.
So obviously with the program, you want the kids to practice the Captain's 5 R's, because if you reuse it or you refuse it or reduce the use of plastic and then repurpose and make it into something else or recycle it, then it has that impact of lasting longer. So this eye patch is made from a milk cartoon that I had in my house, and I was like, well, I want to be a pirate, and so that's the thinking we want to take to anyone or little pirates that come into the program, to say it's right in front of you. It starts from your own home. It starts at your doorstep. That's how we can alleviate and make this trash really, truly treasure.
I love it because it also turns all of us with whatever we have at home into pirates and therefore superheroes.
Totally. I think it does. And one story for me that shows it has impact was when I went to this school and this little girl walked up to me and tapped me on my pants and said, "Puti, arr!" And this was taken from when we had gone to that school, and when I went back again without any of my dress up and my beautiful pirate's outfit, she still remembered that lesson that we had given her with that story. So I was very, very heartfelt or heartwarmed about that. Yeah.
It made an impact on her, and therefore generations to come.
Small is massive.
Small is massive. Thank you so much, Captain Younger. I'm going to move over to Talita, who's sitting on my right-hand side, because I know that the two of you connected, and I'm really eager and excited to hear your story. Welcome, Talita. Tell us more about the Two Oceans Aquarium Foundation and, you know, what superpowers you are using every day.
Thank you so much for having us today. So when Finn goes into the ocean, some of the animals that are sick from the plastic around, some of those animals are sea turtles, and I have the privilege of getting to work with those sea turtles on a daily basis in our turtle rescue facility that we run. The aquarium has been around since '95, very much an establishment that exists to show everyone who comes the beauty of our underwater world, and hopefully also help create safety for that world and make people want to change their behavior, and very much with a focus on conservation, research, and education. But very excitingly, at the beginning of this year, we were able to separate that from the company and create a foundation around it, a not-for-profit that is able to really just put all of its time and resources and energy and excitement into the conservation, education, and the research. And I get to work in the conservation element of that, by running our turtle rescue rehab release program. So
what is that? That sounds very exciting.
It is really exciting, and also going back to small is massive. Every season we have these little baby hatchling turtles that wash up on our beaches. They fit into the palm of your hand. They are very, very small. But to any person that helps to rescue them, they make a massive impact. And so we have a rescue network along our coastline. These turtles strand because they're dehydrated, they are cold, they've often got injuries from seabirds and from all sorts of different things that they've encountered in the oceans. And they need to be rescued. And we offer a turtle hospital where we give them yummy food, we give them warm water, we give them little back scratches and medicine. And
What do the turtles eat?
So turtles like to eat all sorts of things. A good favorite is pilchard. They do like a bit of fishy pilchard, but we also make special gel food, which is a bit of like a pizza that has vegetables in it. It's got special turtle vitamins in it. It's got all the yummy things for a turtle to grow big and strong. And we just do everything we can to help these turtles heal. We can have anything from 20 to 200 little babies that come in a rescue season, which is generally for between March and June, July. And then when they're feeling better and they've grown big and strong, we release them back into the ocean. And just what's really amazing and powerful is that they have made an impact from being rescued and the impact on the rescuer to sharing their stories with people who come to the aquarium and with school kids and with really anyone we engage with. Their turtles are the most phenomenal storytellers, which is really quite lovely.
That's beautiful. What should one do? I mean, if you're walking on the beach and you come across a turtle, what should we do?
How to be a turtle rescuer.
How to be a turtle rescuer. I want to know.
Well, it's very easy. The most important thing actually is to note to not put it back into the sea. When a turtle comes onto land, it's very unnatural. The only time a sea turtle will ever be on land is when it's a female laying her eggs or when it's a little hatchling making its way down to the ocean. So if you see a small little hatchling washed up on a beach or a bigger turtle washed up on a beach, it shouldn't be there, which means it needs help. So the most important thing is to sort of pick it up if you can, depending on the size, keep it dry, keep it out of sun and wind, and then depending on where you are, if you're on the South African coastline, we've got network points between here and Port Elizabeth, and there are, if you go on the foundation website, on the aquarium website, it tells you who you can call, and then we try and help get a lift. A little paramedic service for the turtle to get to a turtle rehab facility, like ours down here, or also there's one in Port Elizabeth. In Bayworld over there.
In Bayworld, that's fantastic. I hope that I never have to rescue a turtle.
But it's nice to now know. And then
but I now know what to do, and I would love to come and volunteer at the turtle hospital and see them eat turtle pizza. So, Talita, tell me, how do you know Captain Van Plastic or Captain Younger? How are you involved with each other? What is the connection?
So I think that we just share a love for storytelling, a love for the ocean, and a love for wanting to communicate that to as many people as possible, but especially to children, and to really, the foundation exists to inform, to inspire, and to make an impact. And I think there's a massive overlap. And in Cape Town and in conservation and in storytelling, it's best to have as many friends as possible, especially if those friends are really cool pirates.
Last question from my side, and I'm going to start with you, Talita. How do kids get involved? How can they volunteer? What can they do for the foundation?
So it's really exciting. Since the beginning of this year and with lockdown, all of our resources have gone online, which means that there is an amazing array of different courses specifically for different age groups that kids can sign up to do to become young biologists and oceanographers. But also we have an amazing subscription model where you can subscribe and then you get this really cool little episode video every couple weeks that takes you behind the scenes in the aquarium and shares stories, but also teaches you about marine biology and about our environment here in Cape Town and along our coast. So definitely by checking out the website, they can find a lot of resources
and get involved.
And get involved big time.
Great. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you. And Captain Younger, how do we become superhero pirates?
it's simple for me, and I won't even make it complicated. For you to be able to make an impact and continue this program, we have made available some copies to the public of The Legend of Captain Van Plastic, how Captain Van Plastic got his name with his best friend Finn the Turtle, and it's available on Take a Lot. Parts of those proceeds obviously go to the school program to make sure that we are able to continue when the world eventually allows us to go into schools and say, hey, be aware of this, and let's turn trash into treasure. So if you go on to Take a Lot and search for The Legend of Captain Van Plastic and buy yourself a copy, as well as find more details about us, about how you can get involved on Facebook at Captain Van Plastic or on Instagram at Captain_Van Plastic. And yeah, that's that.
Great. Thank you so much. Arr. Thank you.
Thank you to the Captain Van Plastic team for a great conversation. I thoroughly enjoyed that. Their workshop will start at 10 a.m. this morning and be live streamed on this channel for everyone and anyone to view. And if you do have a few young, inspiring ocean warriors at home, then get them ready for the Captain Van Plastic workshop that promises to include loads of fun, story time, and they will also learn how to do the famous turtle dance. Next up, we will join Sune Stassen, CEO of Open Design Afrika, in conversation with Anita Bloom, the creative director of Decorex Africa and 100% Design South Africa. Over to you, Sune.
Thank you, Ellen. As the design capital of the first UNESCO City of Design in Africa, Cape Town has always been the perfect home for Open Design Africa, and the V&A waterfront our perfect backdrop to set the scene for an African narrative to showcase the stories, talent, and impactful projects from African designers, impact entrepreneurs, and change makers across our beautiful continent to the world. This year, Decorex Africa also announced their dynamic new plans for Decorex Cape Town through a design takeover of our beautiful city for the full month of June. After the first discussion, it seemed like a perfect fit for Open Design Africa to partner with Decorex and to include Family Makers Day in their exciting program. Joining me now is Anita Bloom, the Creative Director for Lifestyle, Design and Retail Portfolio at Decorex Africa, Decorex International and 100% Design South Africa. Such a pleasure to officially welcome you to our Family Makers Day.
Thanks so much for having me. It's so exciting to be here.
I know there are many young people joining us today who have great aspirations for their own future. As the creative director of so many different and prominent portfolios, give us a glimpse of what your role and responsibilities entail.
So basically, as you've mentioned, I do take care of Decorex Africa as well as 100% Design portfolio. And my key role as the creative director is to constantly research global trends, to see what's happening on a global scale, to look at lifestyles, how our lifestyles are changing. And what I do with that is I compile our annual trend reports, and we use those trends to showcase at our live events. We use the color trends, we do the lifestyle, we do it in the feature areas, the restaurants areas. We try to showcase all these trends. But as you know, due to the global pandemic, unfortunately, we haven't been able to have live events since 2019. So we had to reinvent what we were doing for this year. And so we came up with a Cape Town Design Trail. And the route really, it's fun and it's wonderful to just bring the industry back together, you know, just kickstart it again. Everyone really is exciting. And basically what I've done is I've curated various routes that people can go along. So if you're renovating your home, there's a renovation route. If you're looking for a complete design experience, then we've got these live maps, and each one is geotagged to the participants. So if you want to do an art tour, you can visit the Silo Hotel. They do a beautiful art tour because they've got such phenomenal pieces of art on display. You can go to Zyke's Mocha. You can pop into Gorgeous George for a cocktail. So we've got all these wonderful partners that have come on board the design trail. You can go see the beautiful installation by Clouts and Hub. So there is various things, and that's what I had to do. And my role is obviously to constantly come up with new concepts and make the shows and even now the design trail experiential and fun. And I really do believe that everyone that goes on the trail will definitely have a great experience.
Wow, that's quite a mouthful, Anita. As you've mentioned, due to the global pandemic, all live events and related organizations had to literally reinvent themselves overnight. And many have transitioned very successfully, and I believe this shows great level of resilience and entrepreneurial spirit. And the Cape Town Design Takeover is an exciting new format for Decorex. Tell us more how this concept came about.
Absolutely. So myself and the portfolio director, we often go to international shows and visit them. And we saw this idea and concept at London Design Week, and they do it at various other international shows as well, where they have the actual live exhibition and then they have these routes along the city and they take visitors on this experiential route. And what you can do is you can see various new designers coming up with pop-up concept stores within showrooms. So we decided that Cape Town was the perfect city to launch this kind of concept with the amazing talent that we have with young designers, emerging creatives, established designers. Cape Town really is the hub for this concept. And so that's what we've basically done.
Oh, we're very happy to have you in Cape Town. This is the very first year that Open Design Afrika and Decorex partner, and it's been an exciting journey thus far, and we are very proud to be included in your very first design takeover program. And even though we represent different audiences and levels of the creative economy, cross-pollination and audiences, I believe, and the collaboration is so powerful because it really demonstrates the value, impact, and role of creativity across diverse sectors and applications. How have your audience, designers, manufacturers, exhibitors, and retailers that usually participate at your large events embraced this new format?
We've had really an amazing response and support from the design community. And as they too have been so excited, like I mentioned earlier, to just come together and have something to work towards, like something to look forward to, and to focus on new partnerships, collaborations. And we really have seen a phenomenal like exhibitors coming together and designers that have never worked with each other before have come together to collaborate and design new products which are on display in the various showrooms. So I do encourage everybody to go have a look at our websites and follow the trails and look into all these beautiful collaborations, because it really is wonderful to have this design trail. But I must say that we truly still believe in live events, and we look so forward to hopefully hosting a live event again in 2022.
The Cape Town Design Takeover kicked off on the 1st of June, but it's not over yet. So tell what Cape Townians can still look forward to before the end of this month and where they can find more details.
So as you mentioned, it has been live throughout the whole month of June. But it's not the only thing that we've done in Cape Town is the design trail. We've also had an amazing launch function. The industry were really excited to be together. And we had our influencer, Joanne Strauss, who actually, she was there that night, and she's done the trail herself and created such a wonderful hype for us. And there's various different things that you can do along the trail still. There's the beautiful collaboration that I spoke about with Clouts SA and Hub. It's called the Right Here, Right Now exhibition. And it's where emerging creatives, designers have come together, conceptualize beautiful new products, and they've showcased it in such a beautiful way on 4 floors of a building. So see that. There also is the 4th Gallery, who collaborated with Versus Paints and Samsung and various other artists. I don't know if you know, Samsung have launched their new frame and Serif TVs, which the frame is almost like a canvas on your wall, and they've actually fourth gallery have got artists to create new pieces of art for these TVs. So you have it on your wall. It looks like a beautiful canvas. So I encourage you to go there to have a look at the fourth gallery. They've got these beautiful room settings, and it's very vibrant, fun, bright colors. Like I mentioned, you can go to the Silo Hotel on the art tour, and it's wonderful because they've got all these different art pieces, and they give you all the insights and knowledge behind all the South African artists showcased there. They've even got an art vault, which you can visit, and you can get a peek at the beautiful rooms within the Silo Hotel, which is quite a treat. You can pop over to Zyks Mocha, go have an art tour there. And if you want to see all the events and that, I encourage you to go to www.decorex.co.za. We have a digital design magazine on our website, which really does encapsulate the whole design experience. And it tells you about everyone on board, all the amazing partnerships and collaborations that have taken place. And that will be live for a year. So all the information will be there. And I do believe that the trail is not going to just end now, that people can still always use and reference our map. They can reference the collaboration information and the designers, and this will have longevity throughout the year.
Well, because I just had a little bit of a panic thinking that, wow, there's so much that I still want to experience as part of your program, but it's great to hear that it's still going to be available and that we can still use the trail. I think that's the beauty of a design trail. As soon as you have the information, then you can always go back and look at new things that the trail offers. So that's really great. It was an absolute pleasure to have you with us today. On behalf of our team, I would like to wish you and your team every success and look forward to partnering with Decorex in the near future again.
Oh, thank you so much, Sinead. It's been so wonderful to partner with you this year, and wishing you all the success for your Open Day Africa Family Makers Day today. So thank you for having me. And I hope everyone jumps on board and comes on the tour while we've still got 1 week left. So thanks so much for having me.
Thank you, Anita. And over to you, Ellen.
Hi, Sinead. Thank you. That was great. For those of us who think that, connecting with each other and design is all over, that's not the case, as we can hear by this interview with Anita Bloom. The world is definitely finding each other again. We're coming back together and we're connecting in a new and different way. Hi, welcome back, everyone. I hope you are ready to join us for a very interesting conversation between Sune, our CEO, and our first international guest, Srinivasan, who is joining us all the way from California. Over to you, Sune.
Thank you, Ellen. I have a very special guest who just joined us all the way from California. Srini Srinivasa is currently the president of World Design Organization. He is also the chairman and CEO of Lumium Design, who is a Silicon Valley-based, world-class, award-winning product design company that has developed 300 plus products in consumer electronics, medical, industrial goods, security, and surveillance domain. Lumium also has design studios in other parts of the world, for instance, in Mumbai in India and Tokyo in Japan, to mention a few. Srini is also very involved in mentorship, mentoring technology startups as well as educational institutes in an advisory capacity. Srini, what a pleasure to welcome you to Open Design Africa's Family Makers Day, and it's so great to see you. Tell me, how is life treating you?
Very well. Thank you. It's always a pleasure to see you. I still remember my days in Cape Town during 2013 when I first met you during the preparations for World Design Capital in Cape Town. So it's always a pleasure. And I'm super excited to be here today to discuss with you on the occasion of World Industrial Design Day.
Srini, the World Design Organization plays an important global role. Please explain to our viewers what is the World Design Organization and how is it positioned to add real value globally?
Thank you. World Design Organization was originally named as International Council of Societies of Industrial Design, and it was started in 1957 in London, mainly by the educationalists who were trying to protect the profession of industrial design. And they subsequently grew to attracting other members, namely the promotional agencies, the corporates, as well as the universities, and subsequently we added cities as the membership. So today we have a very, very strong membership all around the globe, where through the organizational members, we are almost 400,000 plus people are connected through our global network. Like the other organizations where you and me as individuals could be members, but in the case of World Design Organization, only organizations can become members. So therefore, we don't compete with the local organizations for the membership. So therefore, our number of members are around 180, 185. But through the 185, for example, an university could be a member where there may be 10,000 students, of industrial design. So that's how we count our number of people. And as we know, the industrial design from the Industrial Revolution days to the current scenario has changed dramatically. From being focused on design to manufacturing, now we become more problem solving, working with the city. So therefore, in 2015, we adopted the UN Sustainable Development Goals, the 17 goals that UN announced at that time, to create a better world by 2030. And we also felt need to change our name from ICSID to World Design Organization. And we have, and we are evolving from then onwards because obviously, the world is changing. And during the last few couple of years, when we were having this unfortunate pandemic, we changed our focus. We became more and more solution oriented, and we came with new programs such as the Design Challenge, which was done online for 2 weeks at a time. And we brought the global players, and we worked with, for example, we worked with the UN Women to bring some awareness in terms of prevention of violence against women and girls. And we also worked with the World Packaging Organization to see how can we reduce waste in terms of packaging. And not only that we did our design events on the Earth, but we also worked with the International Space Station to see how design can be done in the outer space, namely the International Space Station. So these are examples of real challenges when we come together and work with the global community, which means truly global. So we have 6,000 people sending their profile to say, I want to be part of your design challenge. So such is the network that we have created. And today we are very, very happy. So elevating not only in the typical form and function as most industrial designers, as we are all doing, we became more worried about sustainability and circularity and also creating the opportunity to discuss what is important for designers as we move forward.
That's amazing. And it's really incredible for us as well as Open Design Afrika to be a member of this amazing global organization. And it has truly been very interesting to see this transformation into having a greater focus with regards to the UN Sustainable Development Goals. So there's really a lot to learn from this platform. Now, as a proud member of WDO and in collaboration with the Young Designers Circle, Open Design Afrika is super excited to host one of the sessions at World Industrial Design Day next week on 29th of June. Tell us more about the focus of this event and what the global audience can look forward to.
Absolutely. Thank you for that question. So I think we are very excited about this initiative on June 29th with the Young Designers Circle and Open Design Afrika. June 29th is actually our birthday. You know, in 1957, June 29th was when the ICSID was formed. So therefore, we are very, very proud to recognize this day and also celebrate throughout the globe. Typically, June 29th is celebrated by the local communities, schools, and other corporate events happen around it to celebrate the profession of industrial design. So that was the main agenda for that. And each year, WDO Secretariat team comes up with a theme very appropriate for that particular year, whatever the events, current events and current focus. And this year, as we all know, diversity and racial imbalance and gender balance is all kind of bothering us on a daily basis. So we thought it may be very appropriate to choose diversity as the theme for this year's celebration. So therefore, we are going to celebrate throughout the globe, not only in United States or in Cape Town or in Canada, but more than 40 countries. We're going to be discussing over a 24-hour period what diversity means to that particular community, that particular society, that particular city, and that particular country. So that will be an exciting journey that we're going to take you through. And the 29th would be starting from the most eastmost, maybe Fiji time, to all the way to Hawaiian time. We have time with different organization, and we will be traveling to almost 12-15 countries during the 24-hour journey. So it's very, very exciting. And the topics are obviously covered will be the racial and gender diversity, neuro and cognitive diversity, ableism, culture diversity, and so many other topics which are not very, very specific to one particular region. The 24-hour format also allows us to capture different themes of different parts of the world. And I'm super excited that, you have come forward to host one of the exciting sessions with our Young Design Circle, which will take part in the middle of the day. As you know, European time, South African time is right in the middle of the day. So I'm really looking forward to that. And I'm really hoping that event will be a very, very fantastic event. Yeah. Within the 24-hour format.
We hard at work preparing for the session next week, I can tell you that. So I'm just thinking about another amazing experience that I was very much part of. And it feels like only yesterday when our beautiful city, Cape Town, was crowned as World Design Capital in 2014. And I will never forget the overwhelming electric energy at 6 a.m. in the morning in a small coffee shop bursting out of its seams from where we watched the live stream. And of course, the celebration was deafening. It was a once in a lifetime experience, and I will never forget it. But this was, of course, pre-COVID. And we could invite and receive the world with open arms to come and experience our beautiful city and all its different aspects as a design capital. And in 2022, I see Valencia will take the global stage as the next World Design Capital. And I'm very curious to know how Valencia is preparing for next year's showcase, especially during these unprecedented times, when we all know that long-term strategies and planning can be short-lived, and especially with the global pandemic that's calling the shots. This must be a very difficult task indeed. How does WDO advise and support Valencia with this very difficult task?
Thank you again, Sune. I still remember among all of the world design capitals that is there till today, the dancing scene on the streets of Cape Town was still in my mind, and it was one of those best events in terms of showing the energy of a city that worked very hard to beat some of the well-known and better equipped cities in terms of winning the nomination of World Design Capital. So I'm still very excited, and I was also, as you know, personally involved with the city of Cape Town as being one of the international advisory members of Cape Town at that time. So I think the things have changed, as you very correctly point out. And these days, one thing that we learn is to plan and to be ready for not planning. That's the best part of our current day, if I can explain in just one sentence. You know that you're going to be planning something, but you're also expecting on the back of the mind that it may or may not happen. So you're always ready for the backups and see what else can be done. And we have become more agile than ever before. I mean, all of us in our normal day-to-day walks of life, we become more agile because that has taught us the pandemic, how we should quickly adopt and move. So Valencia has been working through the entire pandemic years with their program. And even during the pandemic, they were very optimistic. I think optimism is something we all need to learn. And optimism is something that will push us in our day-to-day life to overcome many challenges. All of us have some amount of optimism before we become, oh my God, things are not happening. But I think the city of Valencia showed a lot of optimism in thinking that this will go away and they're going to still work. During the pandemic also, they put out calls for 2 international projects, right? They wanted to get things going and were getting ready in case the pandemic goes away. That was the enthusiasm and the energy that we saw. And our team actually matched that. That's the best part of working together as 2 teams, right? And they have divided their program into 6 teams. I believe Cape Town was also having 6 teams at that time, I remember. Mostly, which is very common topics: health and well-being, design education, economy and innovation, heritage and identity, which is very important for us, equality, inclusivity, and diversity, again, in line with what we are talking today. And finally, environment and sustainability. So this is where you can see the transition of ICSID to WDO. We become more and more worried about the world for its future. And these themes are resonating with the theme of what we are going to do in future. And collectively, there are going to be about 21 direct projects and with the city of Valencia, and 16 exhibitions are currently planned, and 23 congresses and talks and workshops and stuff like that. But most of them are going to happen in person. But some of them, if they don't happen, then we are also ready to go in terms of, virtual or hybrid, as all these are new terminologies that we are learning. We're going to do that. And our support team in Montreal is on the phone almost on a weekly call, and we understand the day-to-day issues, and we are able to keep the tempo going. It's very important to keep the tempo going, and I'm super excited with the progress that we have done. I get on with those calls once in a while with the team in Valencia, so it looks to me it's really looking very good. I think we'll have a fantastic event. Hopefully we'll also see you there in Valencia in some form or the other, in terms of Open Design Afrika coming and showcasing what you've been doing in the last couple of years. And our team in Valencia will also have a session on the World Industrial Design Day. So hopefully you will tune in, and others are also welcome to join. And as you know, pandemic is pandemic, and we are all looking at the first question that people ask, or I ask, is like, are you vaccinated? If you say yes, twice or once. So then we say, okay, what is the percentage of vaccination in your city? And are you allowing international travel to happen? These are very normal questions. Previously, hi, how are you? But now this is the question, right? We are all getting ready to see how we can prepare for ourselves, because the world is needing to travel again, and the world is needing to meet people again. And we are also monitoring very closely. And as of now, Valencia is looking good in terms of the number of cases or people getting vaccinated on a rapid pace. So we are hoping that come Christmas, we'll be able to literally cut the ribbon for Valencia 2022. I'm very much looking forward to that day. And as you can see the progress, they have a fantastic website, and you could look at the WDCValencia2022.com. Will give all the information on an up-to-date basis. And please sign up for their monthly newsletter so that you can know what is happening around there.
That sounds really exciting, Srini. And I think Valencia will be a fantastic case study. So many live events had to suddenly overnight become virtual. And a lot of people struggle to make that transformation. And I think on such a grand scale, Valencia will be a fantastic case study, and we have a lot to learn from them. But before we bid each other farewell, quickly share with our audience where they can find more details about the registration and the program for next week's World Industrial Design Day.
Thank you, Sune. Everything is available online, as it is the case these days. So you could go to wdo.org, and then you can look for World Industrial Design Day. The program will show up, and you can register within a few clicks. It's not difficult at all. It will also be live streamed on Facebook. So in case you are not very fond of the traditional website going through your laptop, you could also look through the Facebook because that's something which we have started doing in the last few years. And you could look for World Design Organization or through World Industrial Design Day. These are the two handles you could see. So I hope that you can join from wherever you are in the world to a wonderful day of 24-hour program whenever it is convenient. If you are in the middle of the day, middle of the night, you don't know what else you want to do, you can just join to learn what World Design Organization is doing on this wonderful day of World Industrial Design Day.
Thank you, Serena. It was really a special to share these few moments with you. And thank you for joining us at our Family Makers Day. And all the best to you and your team for the last stretch in preparation for next week. And we will see you next week.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Sune. And I'm looking forward to the next time when we are able to meet in person or virtually. Absolutely. Wishing you and all your viewers the very best.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Serena. Take care.
That was absolutely wonderful, Sune. I really enjoyed that interview with Sereni and yourself. And for all of you listening in, I think you'll remember that at the beginning we spoke about how important it is to have critical thinking skills and problem-solving skills. And I think the World Industrial Design Day is all about that. And that actually is a good segue and leads us into the next component of our program, which is about the problem-solving skills. And you can never actually be too young to start with that. So it's time now for all of our young ocean warriors to get ready to join Captain Finn Plastic and the Two Oceans Aquarium for story time about Finn the turtle. You're also going to learn a lot about the ocean and how to look after it, and how to do the famous turtle dance. So don't forget to have the following materials ready if you also want to participate in making your own turtle. So you'll need one big size plastic soda bottle, like maybe a 2-liter Fanta bottle. You'll need some cardboard box or just any cardboard you can find. Make sure you have scissors, pencil, or coloring pens, anything to draw with. You'll need a bottle top and a piece of string, and anything else you can use to decorate your plastic with. So maybe glue, sellotape, any other materials that you can reuse. And actually, when you're creative, you never have enough goodies to work with. So have you all collected your goodies? Are you ready? Let's go.
So, welcome back, everybody. Welcome to Captain Yunga's session. I'm joined here by a fabulous group of little young pirates. Captain Yunga, we are ready for the story.
Are you ready, kids? Aye, aye, Captain. Aye, aye. Give me a big R. R. Okay, so today we're going to do a beautiful story about Captain Finn Plastic and how I got my name. I'm also joined by my friends from the Two Oceans Aquarium who will tell us all all about turtles and tortoises. Are you ready? Yes. Okay, so listen very carefully. You might get a book in the end. Wink, wink. There was once a friendly pirate called Captain Kirk, who had a wooden leg. Although he was an experienced treasure hunter, he struggled to keep up with all the other pirates in his old rugged ship. But that did not bother him because he loved to roam the oceans with his best friend, Finn the turtle. One day, the captain saw that Finn had started to slow down. He noticed that Finn could not move around as well as he used to, and he was tired all the time. What could be wrong with his best friend, he wondered. He had to find out. So they gathered their things and climbed aboard their old ship to set sail on an adventure to find a way to make Finn feel better. Not long into their ocean adventure, they heard a crying noise. Woo, woo! It was so loud, it was as if it was coming from inside their ship. Then they saw a big whale and realized it was crying out of pain. The captain and Finn guided their ship to get close to the whale and called out, "Arr! What's your name, fella?" The whale turned its huge eyes and looked at them and said, "Ooh, my name is Wonder. Please help me. My stomach hurts so much." "Of course we will," they said. "Open your mouth and we'll look inside." So Wanda opened her big mouth and Captain Kirk and Finn went inside to look. And there it was, a mountain full of trash inside Wanda's stomach. It was like 10 table mountains inside of her. Can you imagine that? They quickly started to pull the plastic out and Wanda started to feel so much better. "Thank you," she said. And to show how happy she was, she leaped up out of the water, clapping her fins. The captain and Finn were delighted and continued on their adventure to find a way to make Finn feel better too. As they sailed onward, their old weather-beaten ship started to leak, and soon enough there was water rushing in. They didn't know what to do. They looked around. "Oh my God, what are we gonna do?" And then an idea came to Finn. "We could use all the plastic we found in Wanda's stomach to plug the holes," he said. And it worked. The ship stopped leaking and they were well on their way, delighted. After fixing their ship, they saw a big flock of seagulls flying across the sky. Does anyone know what sound a seagull makes? Ow, ow, ow. Let's all make a sound of a seagull. Ow, 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 ow. But something was very strange. One seagull was not able to keep up with the rest of the flock and was barely flying above the water. Then they saw it flying towards the ship and tried to warn it, "Aye, aye, aye!" Alas, that did not help. The seagull flew right into the seal of the ship. Then they rushed over. "Arr! What's your name, fella?" "Steve," stammered the exhausted seagull. Finn noticed that a piece of plastic fishing line was caught on one of Steve's wings. So the captain with his sword carefully cut the fishing line off Steve's wing. And now that Steve was free again, he took to the sky and flew 2 big circles to thank his new friends. Finn and Captain Kirk were shocked by what they had seen. What the plastic in the ocean could do to their sea friends, and went to bed feeling very sad. While they were sleeping, they heard a big bang and crash. And suddenly, Captain Kirk and Finn were tossed into the water. Ah! Their ship had wrecked into something massive in the middle of the ocean. So after threading the waters for some time, they finally felt something that felt like solid ground. They waited and waited until they fell asleep. And then when the sun rose in the morning, they noticed they had shipwrecked in a giant plastic island. Finn looked around and was very upset when he noticed that the captain's wooden leg was missing. The captain also cried out, "Ah, Finn! Look at your shell!" Finn's shell had cracked open, and pouring out of it was beaten pieces of plastic bottles, lollipop sticks, sweet packets, chip packets, polystyrene containers. And then they began to look around for help. But all they could see was plastic trash everywhere. The ocean was full of plastic trash. Captain Van Plastic stared at Finn, and Finn stared back. And Captain Van Plastic stared back. Then they were both in shock and realized that the problem Finn and all the other sea animals had been battling with was the enormous waste or plastic waste in the sea. Captain Kirk and Finn decided to do something about it. So they began to hunt things to rebuild their ship from what they could find around them. In the middle of the plastic island, Captain Kirk found a used cool drink bottle that was the perfect size to replace his missing wooden leg, and a large plastic bag that could be used as a flag for his ship. To complete his new look, he found a plastic bottle top and turned it into a colorful eye patch. Arr. Finn, on the other hand, was searching for something that could work as a turtle shell to protect him from sharp things. All of a sudden, Captain Kirk yelled, "Finn, I found just the thing!" He said you could use the bottom of a plastic bottle as your new turtle shell. So Finn sandwiched himself into the bottom of the bottle, and it fits, he said. He cheered in with so much joy. They finished fixing their ship and added an anchor made out of bendy straws. "Arr, this stuff is valuable," said the captain, as he was putting the new anchor in. Then Finn had an idea. He would come up with a new name for his friend. So he looked at him and said, "You, my friend, are now Captain Van Plastic." Captain Van Plastic and Finn were feeling very excited because they had fixed their ship and Finn's shell, as well as found a way to make Finn feel better. But because they were good pirates, they made a pact to collect all the plastic trash they could find and turn it into treasure. Little did they know how much they had to do, because there was so much trash to be removed from beaches, rivers, parks, streets, mountains, and schools, that they soon had treasure chests full of stuff that had been thrown away or littered. No one had known how valuable the waste could be. However, there was still so much trash to collect. They needed help. Will you help them? Give me an R, if you will. R! Oh, come on, guys. Give me one big R! R! Nice. Did you guys enjoy the story? Yes. Was it nice? So now I'll hand over to Pirate Talitha, who will tell us some other fun things about Finn the turtle and other turtles at the aquarium. Give her a big R! R!
I'm very excited to be a pirate. Are you excited to be a pirate? Yes? Well, today you're going to be lots of different things, because you are learning how you can be a really cool pirate that turns trash into treasure, but you're also going to learn how to be a turtle rescuer. Do you want to be a turtle rescuer? It's very exciting. That's me over there, and that's a turtle who lives just on the other side there in one of our big tanks. His name is Bob. Bob the turtle, and Bob is very relaxed. He weighs 70 kilograms, and he loves to swim around gently on the surface of the water. He loves to eat. He loves to eat a lot. Can you guess what Bob's favorite food is? I don't know if you would know, but do you want to guess? Bob likes to eat vegetables. Do you guys like to eat vegetables? But Bob particularly likes to eat carrots, and he likes to eat red peppers, and he likes to eat broccoli, all sorts of things, because in the wild, Bob is a vegetarian. So we are helping Bob to get better. He is in our turtle hospital, and we're hoping that one day when Bob is much better, that he can go back and swim free in the ocean. But do you guys sometimes, when you're walking around, see a tortoise? Have you seen a tortoise before? On land. Do you know what the difference is between a tortoise and a turtle? Yeah? Exactly, yeah. Tortoises don't live in water. They live on land, and sea turtles live in the water. And I work with the sea turtles, the ones that live in the water, and we're going to learn how to become turtle rescuers today. But we're also going to learn the differences between turtles and tortoises. So we're going to watch a little video and see.
Good day, ocean friends. Today we'll be going on another adventure. We will be learning about turtles and tortoises. Do you know what is different about them? Don't worry, we'll find out now. Come and join us for the fun experience.
Spunky friends, and welcome to Story Time with myself, Teacher Aisha. Today we're meeting Tinks the tortoise and Hatch the turtle. They are both reptiles. Friends, which letter does the word tortoise and turtle begin with? A T, and it makes a T sound. Fantastic. Today we are going to spot the differences. Spunky friends, do you know any differences? Wow, you're really smart. Tinks the tortoise lives on land, and Hatch the turtle lives in the ocean. They both hatch from eggs. Do we hatch from eggs? Wow, those are really smart answers. We don't hatch from eggs. But spunky friends, predators like fish, eagles hunt them both. However, Hatch can hide in the ocean, and Tinks has to find some shrubs to hide behind. Tinks is able to hide from his predators in his shell, like this. Let's have a look. Wow, that's interesting, don't you think? Well, friends, let's look at the life cycle of a turtle. Once an adult, mommy turtles will return to the same beach where they hatched to lay the eggs. Mommy turtle lays her eggs on the beach and covers them with sand to protect them. About 50 sleeps later, the hatchlings find their way to the water by following the light reflection on the ocean.
So that happens on our coastline every year. So I don't know if any of you have ever been to Durban, but it's quite a little bit long way up the coast, and it's right where the water is much warmer, and we have big turtles that like to go and lay their eggs there. And so the mommy turtles go and they lay their eggs in the beaches, and then after, like Teacher Aisha said, about 50 sleeps, those little turtles go down to the sea and they ride the current. So they swim all the way down the current, and the current pulls them along, but they're also, because they're this big, sometimes even smaller, they can fit into your hand. That's how big they are. And the ocean is very big. So they're very small in a very big ocean. And they're riding this current, but they can be attacked. What do you think can attack them in the ocean? Sorry? Crabs, definitely on the way down, yeah? Seagulls. In the water itself, there's the fish. Then also, sometimes the ocean is stormy, so then they get tumbled around. And then when they come down here, our water is much colder than the warm water up by Durban. So then they also get cold shock. Do you like to go swimming sometimes at the beach? Yeah, it's nice. Do you spend a long time in the ocean? And when you come out, do you feel a little bit cold, like you need a blanket? Because it's chilly, right? So the turtles feel the same way. They get very, very cold. And so because they've been attacked and they're now very cold and they haven't had good food, they wash up on the beaches. And so they're stranded turtles. Now imagine, close your eyes for 1 second, that we're now all lying on the beach. A nice beach, maybe Muizenberg Beach. Do you guys know Muizenberg Beach? Somewhere along there. Okay. So open your eyes. Now we're at Muizenberg Beach and we are going to try and be turtle rescuers. So we're going to walk along the beach. We're going to see if we can find any turtles. So if any of you see any turtles around you, then you can pick it up and we'll see what we can do to be turtle rescuers. Okay, anyone have turtles around them? You've got a turtle. You've got a turtle. You've got a turtle. You've got a turtle. Oh, and we've got this baby here. There's a little baby. Who wants this baby? Do you want this baby? Here we go. So we've got lots of, how many turtles have we rescued here? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all very different types of turtles. And that's important to know because there's lots of different types of turtles that wash up on the beach. Now, what do you think we need to do if we've rescued these turtles? Should we put them back into the ocean? I mean, they come from the ocean, right? We must put them back in the ocean. What do you think will happen if we put them back in the sea? Remember we said that they were very cold and that they've been bitten and stuff. What do you think we need to do? We need to help them. So, do we want to put them in water? No, we want to try and keep them dry. So maybe you're at the beach, so maybe you've got your towel. Towel would be perfect. So we put the little turtle into our towel. So put your turtle into your imaginary towel. There we go. Are we going to want to leave the turtle out in the sun? No, when you're not feeling well, you don't want to lie in the sun. You want to keep them covered and in the shade. And then we want to call someone to come help us, right? So we're going to call the turtle hospital where I work. And we'll give you lots of details to find out how to contact the turtle hospital. But you can go onto the website to find a number to call. And then our little turtle hospital ambulance, which isn't a real ambulance, it's just someone with a car, will come and help you, and then you get the turtle. And then the turtle can come to us at the aquarium. And we're going to show you a little video that's going to show you some of the turtles at the aquarium. And by doing that, you guys have become turtle rescuers. So what we say is you can be a certified, qualified turtle rescuer. So if you can sing the song with me, that song, then that's the final step. So, okay, you're going to need to do this. You're going to need to go certified, qualified, turtle rescuer. Can you say those words? Yeah? Okay. Certified, qualified, turtle rescuer. Guys, you're like this today. You've become pirates. You've become turtle rescuers. Are we going to become mermaids next? Maybe. I want to become a mermaid next. So let's watch another little video that will show us something more about the turtles and tortoises as well.
Hey Spunky friends, I'm teacher Chanel, and today I'm going to be teaching you about tortoises and sea turtles. Did you know they both belong to the reptile family? Reptiles are animals with scales. They also have a backbone or a spine, just like you and I. Let's look at what is different and what is the same about them. Tortoises stay on land. They have short legs and claws which they use for walking. Sea turtles live in the ocean. They have flippers and they use this for swimming. Tortoises eat plants and love berries, fruits, leaves and flowers. Sea turtles eat sea plants and other animals like jellies and sea sponges. Both of them have a hard shell to protect their bodies. Tortoises can even hide their limbs and their head underneath the shell for protection. However, our sea turtles cannot do this. Although the shells are really hard, they are very sensitive, so if anything should touch it, they can definitely feel it. That's all from me. Until next time, bye-bye.
Is that a turtle or a tortoise? Ooh, using a flower. Oh, is that a tortoise or a turtle? A turtle. That's one of the babies that was stranded that someone rescued. That is Annie. She's one of our big turtles who lives with Bob in the big tank. Can you guess what she's eating over there? No, but that's a good guess. There she was eating hake. Do you guys like hake? Fish and chips? Yes. So that was Annie, that turtle you saw. Can you guess how big she is? Bigger. 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 A little bit bigger. Yes, she's about that big. She's a very, very big turtle. And do you want to see what she looked like when she came to the aquarium for the first time? So this was Annie when she washed up in Noordhoek Beach, which is just here in Cape Town. Can you guess what's that all around her? Yes, it's a net. It was fishing gear. So she got caught up in the fishing gear and she was with a seal, and they both therefore washed up on the beach. And we were very lucky because she had people to come and help her, to rescue her, help her get free so that she could now come to the aquarium. And there you can see where she gets to eat squid, yummy calamari. And so now Annie is doing much better. But it was that ghost fishing gear that was in the ocean. So remember we said that for the hatchlings, a big problem is the cold and the injuries that make them wash up. For the bigger turtles, what do you think are some of the problems that make them wash up? We saw one of them now with Annie. Litter, yes, and the fishing gear as well. So we had I briefly showed you a picture of Bob. Here's Bob. Bob the turtle who likes to eat his vegetables. That's Bob. And when Bob came to the aquarium, he didn't eat for a long time. He was very sick. And eventually he made a very big poo. And in his poo, look what all is in his poo. Can you see what all those different things are? What's this? It's a balloon with a string and bits of plastic bag. It's very sad. Unfortunately, plastic is a big threat, like for the turtle fin as well. Plastic is dangerous for the animals in the ocean. So it's really nice for us to be able to help them feel better and get better so that they can go back into the ocean again. And we now know how we can be turtle rescuers when we find a turtle on the beach. But what happens if you're not at the beach? Do you think you can help to rescue turtles other days of the year, maybe when you don't go to the beach? No, actually you can. Do you want to know how you can help rescue turtles even when you're not at the beach? You can reduce the amount, you can be like a pirate. You can be, arr! You can reduce the amount of plastic you use. So if we don't use as many plastic bags or balloons or plastic bottles, then those things aren't going to go into the ocean, which means that it's not going to be a threat for the turtles. So we can rescue a turtle when we find one on the beach, but we can also rescue a turtle by saying no to plastic or turning plastic we find into treasure, like pirates. That's really cool, hey? Okay, so I think what we're going to do now is turtles are very, very good swimmers. They swim all day long, every day. And I think it's important for us to do some swimming as well, like a turtle. Do you think so? Okay, you're gonna stand up, everybody. And we're going to do fit fishies. Okay, I'm gonna come stand here with you. You can watch it. We're gonna follow the instructions.
Good day, ocean friends. Are you all ready to learn the turtle and tortoise dance? What are you waiting for? Let's go! 1, 2, 3, let's do the turtle dance. Let's swim in the ocean. 1, 2, 3, and clap your flippers. Swim like a turtle, walk like a tortoise. Swim like a turtle, walk like a tortoise. Swim like a turtle, walk like a tortoise. Now we know the difference. Let's do the tortoise dance. Let's walk on land. 1, 2, 3, and move your legs. Swim like a turtle, walk like a tortoise. Swim like a turtle, walk like a tortoise. Swim like a turtle, walk like a tortoise. Now we know the difference. And they're having fun, girls. Thank you so much for joining us.
Do you want to do it again? Okay. Okay, let's do it again. Swim like a turtle, walk like a tortoise.
Good day, ocean friends. Are you all ready to learn the turtle and tortoise dance? What are you waiting for? Let's go! 1, 2, 3, let's do the turtle dance. Let's swim in the ocean. 1, 2, 3, and clap your flippers. Swim like a turtle, walk like a tortoise. Swim like a turtle, walk like a tortoise. Swim like a turtle, walk like a tortoise. Now we know the difference. Let's do the tortoise dance. Let's walk on land. 1, 2, 3, and move your legs. Swim like a turtle, walk like a tortoise. Swim like a turtle, walk like a tortoise. Swim like a turtle, walk like a tortoise. Now we know the difference. And they're having fun.
Yeah.
So much for joining us. Bye-bye.
Nice!
Good job, everyone. Sure. Captain Younger,
Yes, Talita.
do you have exciting things for us to do now?
Can we just give Captain Talita a big arr? Arr! Wasn't that fun? Yes, it was. It was for me. I don't know about you guys. So now we are going to create our very own turtles. Are you excited? Let's see. Let's see where our turtles are. There we go. We are create Finn the turtle. And guess what? We'll be using things that are around the house. Whoever creates the most beautiful turtle might win one of these books. I told you that I'm gonna give books out, and what we're going to use are some cardboard, a bottle that's I've already cut that, and then what else? Some rubber bands. You know the beautiful thing about rubber bands is you can get them when mommy buys spinach or any other thing. Like when it comes to the house, you can collect them and like have this collection of these rubber bands, so you don't have to buy them when you want to create your own turtle. And then some coloring pencils or color markers, as well as scissors. That's all we'll need. So everyone can help themselves. I'll just put a chair in the middle so that we can all work together Here we go. Some cardboard as well. Just take anyone. Yeah. Okay, and then I'll keep this for myself. And then, so what we're gonna do first is we'll take a bottle and a cardboard, and then what we want to do is trace the beautiful outline of our turtle or toys. So you can decide if you want to create a turtle or a toys, but so you draw its body all around, you draw the little head with a smiley face, and then you draw the fins or the legs that it will walk around with. So as you can see, step 1, draw around the bottle to create the body. So walk dune. Let's go. So friends, we should be very excited because these turtles can stay with us all throughout, like sleep next to our bed or sleep under our pillow, but like let's not squish them, obviously, and like just have fun. Like this is gonna be very much fun. Anyone else want to tell me what they will do with their turtle once they're done with it? Play with it. Okay, I like that. Anyone else? Okay, so we drawn the body and the legs and the face, and also like give it a beautiful smiley face when you draw the head. Like it's a happy turtle. It's your turtle. Also think of a name that you want to give your turtle. So face, legs, tail as well. And then we're going to cut out the outline once we've done that. So you draw the little legs here. Yes, and then now you want to give like the shell and the cracks as well on the body so that you can color it eventually. So if you want to like just make some little cracks how the shell of a tortoise or turtle looks. Remember how it looks? Well, let's remind you with this one. This is how a turtle looks. It has all the shells, things there. And then also like we can show you Finn from the book, how he looks like. Yeah, see, like give him like little shells or like the shell. Done with decorating it, you can start cutting your outline as well so that you can make your shell look nice. Or you can put another color. else is almost done? Are we almost done? Okay, if you're done, put your turtle up. I want to see it. And then you write your name behind it as well. Or give it a name as well, right? Give the turtle a name. Come on, guys. Be creative. Go crazy. Go boss. Ben 5, Ben 10, Ben 20. We should be. So, can I see all your turtles in big meat? Give me a big R. R. Okay, so all our turtles are gonna play now in this bag of mine, and to see which person is gonna win the books that we have. We'll just put them in this bag, and then we'll choose a winner very randomly. It'll just happen. So mine is Finn, obviously. Finn goes right in. Okay, what's your name? Austin. Arr. Kendria. Arr. Chloe. Arr. Josh. Arr. Zoe. Arr. Benton, Zana, Tammy Lee, So, we will see, is there one more? Ray, like a stingray. Okay, so they will play around while we finish up our last part, and we'll give you, or I will give you, something very exciting to take home with you. So for this part, you remember the story, right, with the plastic waste. Do we know what plastic waste is, or what plastic pollution is? In the Gaiman? Yeah. Use plastic thrown around. That's correct. Arr! And then, does anyone know what the 5 R's are? Can someone tell me the 5 R's? Recycle, number 1. Anyone else? Reuse, anyone else? Refuse, okay. And? So it was recycle, refuse, and reduce, reuse, and then refuse. Repurpose as well. Okay, well done. So we said that examples of plastic. Can you give me examples of plastic besides these ones? There's lots of examples of plastic. Balloons, strings, yes, fishing string, or is string itself. Who else? Something that we wear in our feet. Someone is wearing it right now. Flip-flops, yes. Sloppies. And then pens, scissors, and all the other packaging that we used as well to create the stories. Do we know why plastic is so dangerous? Because it can harm, yes. It can hurt the animals in the sea, as we saw. Don't you think we could eat it as well? Okay, so what if a fish eats plastic and then you eat that fish? So you eat fish and plastic, not fish and chips. Think about that. So it's possible that we also it could also harm us if the animals that we eat it. So, I mean, if plastic is in places like our schools or our street, and all the animals around it can harm us and harm the environment as well. That is why plastic pollution is dangerous. Have you seen examples of that in where you stay? And what do you do when you see that? You do nothing. But after today, we will do something, because it will just be picked up and go into a bin. And these are some of the examples Captain Van Plastic has seen. If you remember Wanda, the whale from the story, if you look at this, you see that Wanda is eating plastic. And did you know that more than 1 million plastic bags are used every minute. So if we count to 60 now, we'll be using 1 million plastic bags. Do we want to count to 60? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39. Oh. Can't go anymore. 60. 1 million plastic bags have been used all around the world right now. So can you imagine if all of that does not go into a recycle bin or into a bin and it goes all around? Obviously, things like this would happen to Steve the seagull. Imagine all the seagulls here in the waterfront if they all had plastic and they wouldn't come to snatch our food when we are at the waterfront. And then remember the plastic island we spoke about? It's actually real. If you can imagine Table Mountain, like 50 times of that in the middle of the ocean, but just plastic. That's what happened in the story, because half of the plastic that we use ends up in the ocean because we don't take care of it properly. So that's why it's important for us to reuse or refuse and reduce and recycle plastic and practice all the 5 R's. And now I want you, when you go home, to be also treasure hunters with your own treasure map, as well as practice the 5 R's. Here you go. And in the treasure map, we have things that we often find that are littered by people on our beaches. So will you be good pirates and do that? Give me an R. A louder one. R. Louder one. R. There we go. So if you look at the front here, these are the 5 R's that you can always try to do in your life. You can refuse a plastic bag when you go shopping because you have your own. You can reduce by also using using plastics that you have already and reuse it. Give me an example of reusing something, like taking a Coke bottle to put water in it or put a plant in it and repurposing it. Like today, what we did with the eye patches and the turtles, and then recycling it where it's sorted by the type of material it is. Did you guys have fun today? Yes. Okay, so now we will do our lucky draw for the 2 books. Okay, so all the turtles are swimming and dancing and walking around this big pool, and someone needs to choose. Someone is going to look away and just take one. Okay, come, sit. Okay, so Zoe and Ray. Okay, look that other side. Look at that other side. And then give me your hand. And, okay, have one. Give a big R. He chose himself. Well done. Here you go. This one is yours. Okay. Wait. So we only have 2 books. Okay, maybe I'll give away the one I was reading from as well. So if you could sit down, please sit down. Zoe's going to pick now, and then we'll do one last person for us to pick. Okay. Okay, drum roll, please. Oh, Finn. No, I don't want. Finn is mine. So, okay, we'll go again. Someone else can go. Okay, there we go. Read it out, back. Chloe, yay, okay. And then let's give one last one, okay? You're gonna look away. Drum roll, please. Austin! Yay! Well done. So now, big clap for everyone. Where's the other book? I'll find the other book and give it to Austin. Well done, guys, and I hope you had so much fun. That is the end of... It's fine, don't worry. This is yours. Well done. And you can take your turtles as well. You can take them home. Well done, guys. Thank you so much for joining.
Welcome back, everyone. I thoroughly hope that you enjoyed that session and that you've made your own plastic turtle. We're now going to move on to two different sections. We're going to work with My Machine. So the fun's not over. We're still going to continue learning and making. We're going to have a workshop with My Machine South Africa, but we're also going to have an interview with them so you understand more about what My Machine South Africa does. We're now inviting all children between the ages of 6 and 9 to take part in Design Your Own Dream Machine at the next workshop that will start at 11 a.m. Your dream machine can be anything from a new toy to a new machine, something that really solves a problem. Anything goes as long as you young inventors you really want to do it. You'll also be able to receive your own My Machine certificate after the workshop, so get ready and make sure that you have paper, pencils, cookies, coloring pens, anything else ready that you can draw with. You're also welcome to build your own dream machine after you made your drawing and out of any of the materials you have been able to find around the house. We will be back shortly to introduce the My Machine team before we join the Design Your Dream Machine workshop. So there's a little time to get ready. Please go and get all of the things you need. welcome back. We hope that our young inventors have quickly gathered everything they need to design their own dream machine. Sune, our CEO, managed to quickly catch up with the My Machine South African team before they start their workshop. Over to you, Sune.
Thank you, Ellen. Welcome back. I am joined by two very special guests all the way from Piketberg on the West Coast, South Africa. Jeremy Marman is the director of the Initiative for Community Advancement and the former coordinator for My Machine South Africa. Jamal Fortuin is the program officer at the Initiative for Community Advancement. And most recently, she also took over the reins from Jeremy as the coordinator of My Machine South Africa. Now, last year, My Machine joined Open Design for the very first time. And we are so excited to continue our partnership this year because at Open Design, we believe that collaborative creative intelligence is a superpower and that every child and citizen should have the right to develop it and be equipped and empowered with future-making life skills so that we can collectively start to build a future world we can all feel proud to live, work, and play in. For this reason, we were instantly attracted to the work of My Machine. We share the same values and aspirations for skills development and for the future of education. Welcome to our next edition of Family Makers Day.
Thank you very much, Sunay. I'm really happy to be here.
Thank you, Sunay. Pleasure to be here.
Jeremy, please give our audience a quick overview of My Machine. Where did it start? Why did you decide to get involved and bring My Machine to South Africa?
So back in 2011, I was privileged to travel to Romania. And there I met one of the founders of My Machine Global, who of course explained really excitedly what the My Machine program is all about. And like you said in your opening remarks, I felt instantly that My Machine need to be brought to South Africa. So 1 year later, we had a pilot program off the ground in Malmesbury in the west coast of South Africa, and we brought a couple of guests from My Machine Global over here, and we initiated the My Machine program. This is now back in 2012, and now 9 years later, we're running full throttle with My Machine, and we're really excited about it because, like you said, we also believe in collaborative creative intelligence. It is the future, and it's really about developing the skills and the careers for the future. So that is why we're excited to have My Machine in South Africa, and we continue to want to grow it. And Open Design Africa really gives us a platform to do just that.
Now, in 2020, the world sadly lost one of its biggest advocates for creativity, Sir Ken Robinson. Someone I will always admire. And he also wrote the foreword for the My Machine book called What is Your Dream Machine?, which is a focus on how children are changing education worldwide. Tell us more about the impact of My Machine, how it is adding value in education and the difference it is making in the lives of our children as future makers.
If you look at traditionally what career paths the children would have all over the world, and particularly in developed countries, it's really things that the kids see around them. So the future careers that young people aspire to are things becoming a teacher, becoming a police official, a nurse, etc. So we are finding that through introducing the My Machine program into schools, we suddenly opening up the dream faculty for these kids. We're showing them that there are other career paths for them, and these kids are really so excited to explore. So what we do in the My Machine program is we not only get children to dream up or to come up with a dream machine idea, but we actually take the idea from the child's idea, and we find ways to actually bring this idea into reality, where we actually built the one dream machine per classroom that are elected by the kids in the classroom. And through this, we actually encouraging creativity, encouraging innovation, and we're linking the different levels of the education system, because the kids are visited by students from university that comes to run a creativity workshop in the classroom with the kids. So suddenly the kids can see that students at university level are involved in creating the actual desire or dream that is invented by the children. So really, and at the same time, what the university students would learn from now the most critical client, children. They become the client. So suddenly, the university students are actually learning that how to engage around talking about bringing the product that is a desire or dream in the head of your client into reality, and continuing finding ways to actually test whether the product idea or the concepts fits the dream or the idea of the children. So we feel that this approach, the My Machine program, is adding a kind of element that is missing in the education system, which is about creativity, innovation, and dreaming. Because whatever we dream can become a reality.
Yeah, it's such a valuable point that you're making, Jeremy, because not too long ago, Forbes made a very profound statement that creativity is the top leadership skill of the future. And the other day I watched a video, a speech made by Jack Ma, the very well-known entrepreneur, who said, the future is not going to be knowledge-driven. It's going to be creativity and imagination driven. That is where we need to start competing. So the role of My Machine and developing these very important future making skills in children is extremely, extremely important. Jamal, as the coordinator of My Machine South Africa, tell us more about your role and what our innovators can expect at the workshop today.
Thank you, Sine. So as the coordinator of My Machine South Africa, my job is really to organize events or activities and build partnerships with the necessary people that can actually help My Machine South Africa grow. Because currently we are only focusing on the Bergrivier municipal area. But I think at the end of the day, our goal is to broaden My Machine and to implement My Machine in the whole of South Africa. And today, the innovators, the young children can expect a fun, creative, collaborative, exciting time where they can let the imagination run wild. And I hope that with this creativity workshop that we receive amazing Dream Machine ideas.
I'm absolutely sure you're going to do that. There was such a huge excitement last year when some of the machines that were designed by the children here in South Africa were selected and built. This must have been a huge excitement for them and for you. So tell us a little bit more about that.
Yes, Sine. So with the implementation of My Machine in 2019, we hosted My Machine in 4 schools here in the Bergrivier municipal area, and then 3 machines were built. 4 machines were built, and we actually returned some of the machines to the various schools. And then My Machine Global launched a Dreams Drop campaign this year, a very exciting campaign where they partnered with universities in Belgium and Mexico. And exciting enough, 3 of the Dream Machine ideas from the children here in primary schools in the Bergrivier municipal area were chosen and selected. And about a week ago, we saw the concept. So the university students transformed these ideas into concepts, and we can't wait because the building process is ongoing as we speak. So soon enough, you can check out My Machine South Africa's Facebook page to see these exciting ideas of these children being brought to life.
I think it's so powerful for children to see that other people are interested in their ideas, and also then on the return side for university students to actually see children as their clients. I think that is so exciting, this whole collaboration.
Yes, of course. Because last year, with our Family Makers Day creativity workshop, one of the students who were involved said that she learned so much actually from taking part and engaging with children. It gave her a whole new perspective of engineering, that engineering is not always about the numbers, but it's more so about the people and what the client wants and how they can bring that to life.
Amazing. Now, all the children who participate in your workshop have the great opportunity to also receive their very own My Machine certificate. Quickly explain what the parents or guardians should do and where they can find the relevant information.
Okay, so the parents can go online and visit the My Machine Global website, where they will see a portal join that will take them to the Dreams Drop portal. So then the guidelines will be on there, but they can take a picture of the Dream Machine invention and then fill in the necessary information. And as soon as they click submit and accept, the child will receive their Dream Machine idea.
Amazing.
Or their Dream Machine certificate, yeah.
Great. That sounds easy enough. So I really hope that the parents and guardians whose kids will be participating in the workshops today will submit their beautiful dream machines that their children designed. It is always a pleasure to host My Machine. Shamal, I am sure you and the kids are going to have an awesome time at the Zeitz-Mocha this morning. And I'm sure everyone's excited to get going. And I know their minds and imagination are soon going to explode with endless possibilities of their dream machine. So thank you for joining us this morning and for bringing the magic of My Machine to our children.
No, it's always a pleasure. And I'm excited to see what amazing ideas the children come up with.
Thank you for having us tonight. Really excited to be part of Open Design Africa 2021.
2021. See you on the other side.
Hi everyone, I am Shamal Fortuin, the coordinator of My Machine here in South Africa. Thank you for joining me and the children from Cape Town at the Open Design Afrika Family Makers Day. We are excited to have you with us and cannot wait to see what amazing machines you will design today. Just a quick introduction before we start. My Machine is a global foundation whose goal is to teach children like yourself how to use their imagination and how to bring their own ideas to life. Whether you want to create something fun, solve a personal or even a global problem, we at My Machine believe anything is possible if you as the inventor really want it. Always remember that there are no limits to your imagination. So before we get started, quickly make sure you have all the materials that you need, such as paper, pencils or crayons. We will take a moment to make sure everyone is ready to go. Now for the instructions. First, I want you to think about what the word machine means to you. What if I told you that a machine can be anything? For instance, a chair is a machine that allows you to sit and rest if you are tired. A spoon is a machine that helps you to transport food from your plate to your mouth. Now, I want you to look around you. What do you see? Try and identify different machines around you and think about what these machines do and how they help you solve a problem. your own dream machine. I want you to think about, is there maybe a new toy you want to create? Is there something you or someone else are struggling with for which you need a machine? It does not matter how wild or crazy your idea is, anything goes, but you must really want it. I am sure by now you already have a great idea for your machine. Quickly write down the name of your machine. Also write down why you want to design your machine and what it will do and how it will work. If you are still stuck with coming up with an idea, look around you again for inspiration. Maybe there is something in your home that needs a machine to make things easier, or maybe you or someone in your family needs a machine to help them with something they are struggling with. I am now going to give you enough time to invent and draw your dream machine. You can use anything you have available, like pens, crayons, pencils, and cookies, for instance, to draw your dream machine. Hi guys, how are things going? I hope you are all very busy designing your dream machine. Remember that anything goes. There is absolutely no right or wrong. You can let your imagination run wild and design any machine you want. Sure, you have all created amazing machines and we cannot wait to see your awesome creations. If you have not had enough time to finish the drawing of your dream machine, that is completely fine. You can still complete your drawing after we said goodbye today. Remember to add your name and the name of your machine on your piece of paper. Also, remember to write a little story about your machine, what problem your machine is solving, and how your machine works next to your drawing. Did you know you can receive your very own My Machine certificate? Here is what you need to do. Ask your mom, dad, or guardian to take a photo of your drawing, or they can scan it if you have a scanner. They then need to go to the My Machine Global website where they will find the Dreams Drop portal. Here, they will find all the instructions on how to upload your drawing of your dream machine. Once they have uploaded your drawing, you will receive your very own My Machine certificate. Lastly, we are all excited to see what you have created today. So take a photo of your drawing and upload it to Facebook or Instagram. Remember to tag Open Design Afrika and My Machine South Africa. Otherwise, we won't be able to see the awesome dream machines you have designed today. Thank you so much for joining us today. Have a lovely day. Goodbye.
Welcome back, everybody. We hope that you had a fantastic time with Captain Fantastic and My Machine. We're very excited to welcome our two new guests who will be joining my partner in crime from Ghana and Canada, Sune. Over to you, Sune.
Thank you, Ellen. In South Africa, we are currently celebrating Youth Month till the end of June. Later today, after 12 p.m., Ellen will have a quick conversation with Hector Grimaldo in Vietnam, who will tell us more about the amazing global youth drive called X Talks, The World Listens. At 3 p.m. today, Hector and the youth group from Vietnam will host X Talks for youth change makers from around the world right here on our YouTube channel. If you are a young person who has a story or a solution to share with youth from around the world, or you are passionate about creating change and you still want to join the session later today, then please go to Eventbrite or to our Facebook page where you will find the details for registration. Please do note that registration for this event will close at 2:30 p.m. Central European Time today. This is also a great opportunity to connect with X Talks and to find out how to get involved and create your own X Talks for youth in your own area. Next week, on the 29th of June, Open Design Afrika will participate in the World Industrial Design Day. This is a 24-hour global celebration where we will be hosting our own session in collaboration with World Design Organization's Youth Designer Circle. I'm joined now by two very special friends from YDC to tell us more about the workshop that will be hosted next week. Chris and Relitza, welcome to our Family Makers Day. And thank you very much for making the time to join us all the way from Canada and Ghana.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's really great.
Very great to have you here.
Yeah, we are super excited to be part of the Family Makers Day today, and we're looking forward to an amazing experience today.
Great. And we are super excited about our collaboration next week. But before we go into details, quickly tell our viewers who is Young Designer Circle, how it came about, and what would you like to achieve through this platform, and how can youth from around the world get involved?
So I'll take that question. So the Young Designer Circle was it was started by a gentleman at the WDO named Gilles Rouchon. He kind of had this idea where he wanted to get more young designers, and it's funny because when we say young designers, we're also talking about designers that are kind of like anywhere from we have people in the group from 19 years old all the way to their late 30s. So we're really trying to broaden that understanding of what youth could be. And so this idea was that, how can we actually get the perspective of young designers to come into play with how the WDO does things. And so what we did was we created this pilot program. And Gilles asked me to kind of also be part as a strategic advisor and help to kind of run the Young Designer Circle. So what it is right now is around 17, sometimes it's 17 to 18 people, depending on where we're at in the process, from all over the world. We basically are touching every single continent in terms of our membership right now. And what we've done is we came together as a large group. So we called for an application. We filtered out. I think we already had over 150 people apply the first time around. And this is our first goal. So this is kind of like a pilot for us. And when we got this started, we didn't actually know what it is we were really going to do. And we let the members of the YDC kind of take the lead and start to decide, what our targets would be. What did we want to achieve in terms of the thinking? And we're at the point now where we're working on a number of different projects around entrepreneurship for young designers, diversity and inclusion in the design profession led by young designers, and also sustainability and what that means to the design profession right now, and working on these three pillars, but in a very flexible way. So it's not like people are working in their own countries. People are working together on side projects from different countries, going to different events together. So, if somebody said, what's the Young Designer Circle right now? It's this like wonderful kind of prototype for how young people around the world can like influence some of the biggest topics we're working on, but also hopefully influence how the WDO moves forward in their thinking. You know, I always like to say, like, there's maybe a future president in the Young Designer Circle of the WDO right now. Does that give you a little bit of a good overview? Riley, do you want to add anything to that? Because for sure I missed something.
Yes, thank you so much. And yeah, Chris, you've said most of it all. And as part of the Young Designers Group, we are really very much into the core projects in our regions, as Chris has said. And for example, one of the projects that we are looking at is also to make sure that we let the other young designers across the world know what we are doing. And that's even one of the reasons that we are here, to share our projects and also invite people to join us in our upcoming sessions on the 29th as you introduce us to do so. We are very curious, which is also part of our core values. And we believe that there are so many curious young designers out there that would really be a powerful force to be part of our young designer cycle going forward. So thank you so much for that, Chris. And then over to you, Sinead.
I love that idea, Chris, what you said. You know, it's great to imagine that maybe a future president can come from the Young Designer Circle. I love that idea. And I think there's a lot of creative people out there that will definitely vote for a president like that. Now, the World Industrial Design Day next week will have a very significant focus on diversity. How will the Young Designer Circle bring diversity and equity at the very center of the workshop? And what can participants expect next week?
So I think for this workshop, what we wanted to do was we wanted to make sure that we kept it as like an open conversation. So sometimes when you go into these workshops, you know, they're very structured and they're very like, let's get this done and let's get this done. And I think we know with a topic like this, nothing is going to get done in a 1-hour workshop. So the way that we've planned it is we kind of looked at this topic of diversity, inclusion, and equity in the context of education. And so we kind of like grounded it in something very specific, because many young designers are either going through a kind of design education process, and we know that design education process is very flawed. I'm also like a professor of design education, so I know that there's a lot of flaws in it firsthand. And on the other hand, we also have a lot of young designers who are also teaching in this profession as well too, and getting their career started in this and understanding what a lot of the different kind of problems that exist. So what we wanted to do was have an open forum of with 1 or 2 questions just to get people's thinking and thoughts out there, so that these kinds of thoughts that are coming together about this topic during the workshop, we can all kind of go away and think about how we can put that into practice in our own context. And I think that's important when we're talking about a topic like this, is that the context that I come from is very different than the context somebody else comes from. And so it's really important that we get all of these views of what this means. So I think this for me is one of the most exciting things, is that we're hoping to bring different people from different contexts together to give their experiences and their thoughts. So for us at the YDC, we can take this information back and put it into our work. I don't know, Riley, do you want to add anything there? For sure, you're gonna. I miss so much, so I'm waiting for you.
I mean, Chris, you are spot on, and we've been working on this together with the team and you said it right there. And even within our group as young designers, we are also very diverse. And we try to make our work very inclusive. And so also as part of this workshop, we wanted to also showcase how diverse we are. And even though we are connecting from different parts of the world, we are able to bring some thoughts together to also share with the rest of the world. And what Chris has spoken about the fact that we want to get a conversation going so that everybody can take parts of it, like the small seeds that you can plant in your various contexts and then make it massive as we look to a more brighter future on our continent and also globally to make the world a better place.
Fantastic.
Over to you, Susie.
Fantastic, Riley. And you know how much we love that concept of small is massive, right? And I think that's what's also going to be important for that workshop is for design students to understand how they can actually use their creative skills to add value in a different way, not just in a creative context, but also in terms of adding value and become change makers by using those skills. And I think that's going to be an important topic as well. I hope so.
Yes, yes. Absolutely.
Now, you mentioned earlier when we spoke that YDC is currently doing a survey. Explain quickly for us, what is the survey about and how will the data be used?
Okay, so I'll start with that and then Chris can also chip in. Wonderful. So the survey is basically about equity in design, which is the broader picture for diversity and inclusion. So what we wanted to do was to get our young designers out there and professionals out there to share their views on equity in terms of design. And so we wanted to hear their views and for them to let us know what they have experienced in their journey as designers, and also with also an additional focus on gender and how that has also influenced their practice as designers in their various contexts. Then another thing we wanted to know about is about their skill sets. What are young designers out there specialized in? And we wanted to know more about that and see how we can draw from all these expertise. And that gives us a better idea on how the field currently looks like when it comes to young designers and how that can be put into the concept of equity. And we can also make a bigger seats there so that we can make it massive in their various regions. And then beyond that, we want to also explore the opportunity of onboarding ambassadors into the young designer cycle on the next phase. So that also gives us a better perspective and also get people's views. Then the next thing is that the ideas we are going to get from there will be shared back with participants. These ideas are also going to be shared anonymously. It will not be for people to be identified specifically, but the specific information we get is simply for our own learning to simply identify where each person is sharing their thoughts from. So basically, that's the overview about the survey, and we're really looking forward that a lot of us here will take the survey prior to the workshop, and then we can also draw some ideas and discuss that as we go forward in the workshop. So over to you, Chris.
That's you got it. You got it all, Riley. I got nothing to add for that.
So tell me if any of our youth want to participate next week and also contribute to the survey, where will they find the relevant information?
So the survey we're going to be the survey we're hoping we're posting on the you can go to the WDO's website and there'll be and there'll be the details of our event to join the event. And I don't want to say what time it's going to be at because it's a little bit early in the morning for me, so I'm afraid I'm going to say a time that's going to be the wrong time when it's at. Yeah. It's for me, it's a very weird time because it's a global thing. So I think I might be logging on at like 8 in the morning or something. And during that event, we're going to be sharing the survey link with all the participants as well there. We're also hoping Open Design Afrika might share that link as well with people as well too. So that, and the other thing too is that, the people that we meet, we're trying to build the network. So people that we meet, we're going to ask them to share the link with other young designers as well too. So that's kind of where it's going as well right now.
Thank you, Chris. We will definitely commit to sharing. I know that we've shared it once before, and after our event today, we will definitely share it and distribute it even further. So we will commit to doing that for you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Renee.
if we want to create the level of change that's needed in this world, then we all need to commit to plant even just small seeds of change everywhere, because collectively, as Riley said earlier, the impact will be massive. So I really want to encourage all the youth change makers from around the world to join X Talks and YDC, because only together can we design a future world we can all feel proud to live, work, and play in. It was such a pleasure to have you both with us. All the best for the last preparations for next week, and we can't wait for our collaboration with YDC.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
It's always been great working with Open Design Africa. Sunay, like this is our second time collaborating, so we're like really happy to do this. So thank you.
Yes.
Always a pleasure to have you.
Thank you so much.
Wow, great to hear from Roletta and Christian and our other team speaking to Sunay. We've just had word from all our other workshops that are currently running, and it would appear that kids are having great fun, and also the other participants who signed up for this morning's workshops. They're having fun and lots of learning experiences. Build Your Authentic Personal Brand will continue after 2 o'clock, and the kids' computer programming will be hosted by iZone in Zimbabwe, is also in full force until 12 o'clock. And things are really pumping, as always, at the Augmented Reality Workshop with Baso at Sisanda Tech. And then, of course, My Machine and Inspiring Spaces workshops at the Zeitz, and our family teams at the Make for Good workshop at Makers Landing are still creating sandwiches full steam ahead. Please continue to share your creative experiences on Facebook and Instagram, and don't forget to tag Open Design Afrika. We would love to share your experiences and creations with our global community. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back at 12 o'clock and to connect with our last guest for today, Hector Grimaldo, all the way from Vietnam. I'll see you so shortly. Welcome back, everybody. My name is Ellen Fischert. I'm an impact entrepreneur and empowerment activist based right here in Cape Town. Some of you may know that this month in South Africa, the month of June, we celebrate Youth Day. So our next guest is very appropriate to celebrate our youth around the world. Hector Grimaldo is working to help dream, create, connect, and help scale innovative projects and opportunities which share a vision of a better future, especially for the youth. Hector wants to motivate, train, and guide students and schools to be part of the new era of technology in education. Furthermore, he aims to serve in making valuable quality education available to all. With networks like 100, Teach Millions, and Link Power, Hector is building intentional, collaborative, and international education partnerships through creative collaborative thinking and project management training. He is the founder and CEO of Dreamland Eco English in Hanoi, Vietnam, and a co-founder of Link Online Learners and a global ambassador for 100 and Teach Millions. Hector, it is such a pleasure to welcome you today to our Family Makers Day in Cape Town, but obviously joined from a global audience. Please tell the audience a little bit about yourself. Are you from Vietnam? Do you live there? Just give us a bit of your background and tell us about how you ended up in Vietnam.
My pleasure, and thank you for such a warm and welcoming introduction. It's just so incredible and such good energy to be able to be part of this Family Makers Festival from Open Design Afrika. Thank you so much. And I love sharing my stories of how I came to Vietnam, since it's so curious. In university, I didn't want to stay in Texas. I wanted to travel and experience more of different cultures and the world. My plan was firstly to go to China and start teaching English as a second language. And that always stayed in my head throughout my travels. However, 2 weeks before my starting date, I realized that they hadn't emailed me in a while, and I didn't have a visa, and I didn't have a place to go in China. Ironically, I had already bought my flight to Vietnam, simply thinking that I was going to travel 1 or 2 weeks and head up to China to start this new education chapter. Little did I know that Vietnam had a big plan for me, and without any purpose or any intention at first, I slowly grew to become one with the culture, and the people were so welcoming and friendly that I quickly found myself at home. And in an environment where education is very traditional, I realized the impact that could be made by exposing students to international connections, opportunities, and to broaden their imagination and their perception of what is possible, and making them believe that impossible is nothing. And I'm happy to say that after 5 years in Vietnam, I have opened my own English centers here in Hanoi. I have partnered with a lot of NGOs, organizations, have created and organized citywide events, have been broadcasted nationwide in Vietnam, where I have continued to push international education and new opportunities to the Vietnamese community with organizations, as previously mentioned, like 100 and Teach Millions. And today it's such an honor to be in Open Design Afrika and having some of our students watching from across the globe, and just wondering how some Mexican Americans stumbled upon Vietnam and is now honored to be able to share his story in an international, festival such as Family Makers Day. So thank you for having me.
No, thank you, Hector. I think it's interesting, one of our social media hashtags today is #SmallIsMassive. And I love how you speak about, being a small Mexican-American entrepreneur student that wants to broaden their horizon. And today, we connect, and we're connecting online and globally, and there really are no boundaries. So it's really appropriate for our session today. So you mentioned, you alluded to the fact that, that there's traditional education in Vietnam. I think that South African education is also quite traditional. What else inspired the creation of Dreamland Eco-English, and what makes this concept so unique and impactful, as you say?
Well, thank you. I believe that it all started with my mother, actually. My mother was also an educator for almost 40 years between Mexico and America. So growing up, I was already in this creative environment of thinking of games and fun ways to integrate a lesson and make it interesting for a younger audience. Even as a child myself, I would give toys to my mother to bring to her classroom and for her to play with her students. And I think it grew into the way that I myself see myself as a learner. I'm very kinesthetic. I want to be hands-on. I'm very auditive and visual. And yes, I love to read, but I think that where I find myself in my zen is when I'm curious and when I'm most likely to fail. And what I mean by that is when students are in an environment where all of their senses are engaged at once, they are overwhelmed with this vibration of life. And suddenly, whatever lesson was being covered, whatever grammar, structure, vocabulary was the purpose, becomes secondary to their own curiosity and their own willingness to explore their passion and to try new things. So about 4 years ago, Dreamland started as an outdoor weekend experience program where we would bring students to parks, museums, cooking kitchens, laboratories, even escape rooms where they would use their English as a tool. And little did they know that they were expanding and helping each other grow in an outside learning environment. As we said before, traditional education may be very goal-oriented and test score-oriented, and that may turn a blind eye into people's skills and interests and masteries. Because even us as educators, we have the world to learn from students. And one of our missions here in Dreamland is that when students are given the opportunity to feel like they matter, to feel like they're equal to their other peers and to their students and to their teachers, they themselves take pride in how they interact with the class and how they become active in it. And throughout the years, we've grown into indoor programs where we still keep our strong base of kinesthetic hands-on learning. And now with this whole, pandemic and transitioning into this technological era, students have now come online, but we have stayed true to our principles. And even while learning online, we are able to have classes such as making a cake in a cup, because there's always a positive side of how to look at things. And yes, it has been a tough year for all, and we have been trying to keep education going. But while chasing this goal of ours, we have let go of curiosity in a way. And so some of the programs that we conduct online are things like go to your kitchen and become a master chef. Because in a classroom or even outdoors, not everybody can have a blender at all times. Not everybody could have the opportunity to crack an egg, to measure a cup of flour and to make a mess. But that is something that we have seen as an opportunity online, as to making a cake simultaneously. 20 students, 20 households, 20 messy kitchens. And that has really kept our students active, happy, and creative during this online educational shift.
Hector, wow, so much wisdom and knowledge and new knowledge, I'd like to say, in everything you have presented, because, you know, and I love the positivity. I think that's what the youth also bring us, the positivity around reframing our world, reframing our thinking. And, you know, yes, we're very much, I suppose, inhibited and feel very confined and constrained because of the impact of the pandemic. And yet at the same time, it's these youth leaders that will actually drive the change that we want to see. So I'm making notes, and I'm taking that with me for the work that I do, that, you know, and I think that is what makes you unique and impact. It's not trying to figure out how we solve this problem that we have with online education and inviting people into online spaces as we used to, because, you know, life isn't as it used to be. So I was really excited to hear that, and very curious also about the workshop, because I think for everyone joining us then, that this is it in action, you know, this is the Dreamland in action. So later today, you and the youth from Vietnam will be hosting X Talks, and for youth change makers, for youth who will be joining us from various parts of the world. Tell us more about the power of the X Talk concept and what kind of impact it has had to date.
Absolutely, it's my pleasure. And I feel very blessed to be able to have connected with my dear friend Alex Bell, Global Ambassador of 100 for the year of 2020, based in London, England, where the idea of X-Talk started simmering. However, it goes back and started in Malawi, you know, quite special, you know, being in Open Design Afrika festival today. So Alex went to Malawi and, you know, had the stories of dozens of students, of youth change makers, as we like to call them, and giving them the opportunity of standing in a global stage and having their ideas heard and putting forward a call to action. And one of the talks that really resonates with all of us, it comes from a young girl called, let me just double check, Trines or Trines, I'm sure I'm mispronouncing, but she kind of went deep into sharing her life and how tomatoes changed her life. And for many, that's already such an incredible attention grabber. And that was back in 2018. And last year, during this online revolution, she got the chance to present to the number of participants that would fill up Wembley Stadium.
Oh, wow.
So that was just such an impactful and remarkable experience for us, for her. And personally speaking, my students, GMD, Duon, Mai, and Zhang, 13 years old at the time, right when the pandemic started in March, Vietnam was one of the first countries that was affected. But thanks to the collaborative connection of the people, we were able to contain it and control it in a way. So my students, they came to share with the world what it was like for them to be at home for 2 months before the world even knew clearly what this COVID-19 was. We had already experienced lockdown for 2 months. So they bravely came forward, shared tips, experiences, and encouragement on how to prepare the youth to take action, to stay positive, and to always make the best out of every situation. Little did we know that those 20 hours that we spent in a single room with colored flashcards all over the floor, drinking milk tea as a source of fuel, and just filling the room with colorful ideas and creativity on how to speak directly to the youth in a way that they could relate to and that they could connect with. Our talk was broadcasted on Net Viet TV all across Vietnam back in March, and since has been used here and there in some couple of festivals just as today, which for them, it's hard to believe. And today they get another chance to take the global stage and speak not only about their talk back then, but now more in a stage of experience. And we hope that today in our session, in about 3 hours' time, we will be able to encourage other youth to believe, to take action, and to share their own stories, from how tomatoes changed your life, from how COVID affected your life, from how a poem directed to a Black Lives Matter movement, from anything under the sun. People are out there waiting to listen and ready to listen. And what we like to say in X Talks is that everybody has a story to share, and the world wants to listen to it. And energy is rushing through my veins and through my arms, and I have a tingly sensation of excitement to see the youth speaking to other youth, and me as an educator and us as, you know, Open Design Afrika, putting this festival together, taking the back seat, sitting in a front row seat, along with all of our guests, all of our participants, and seeing the youth in action. That is just something that you can't replicate it. And I believe that's the magic that brings together of all of us in this festival. So thank you to you and Open Design Afrika for putting this together. And it's just going to be so meaningful. I've been watching since we went live a couple of hours ago, and it's just a lot of ideas worth sharing.
Well, Hector, we really have a good internet connection because I'm feeling those positive vibes, and I'm sure that everyone that's joining in is also really, excited to be part of the connection, the collaboration, the creativity that you speak about. And again, the power of collaboration and the impact we, youth can therefore have. And I love the idea also about them leading, being role models to each other, sharing and leading the way. So for those joining us this afternoon, and for us that are coming on board, what can we expect from the X Talks later?
Well, you can expect me to take the back seat, first of all.
Okay.
I'm going to make myself some snacks and enjoy the show. So GMD, which consists of Zhang, Duong, and Mai, which are now 14-year-olds. They're going on to 10th grade here in Hanoi, Vietnam. They're students of Amsterdam High School, which is a gifted school here, which just speaks with their energy. They themselves have inspired Alex Bell, the founder of X Talks, and I, through seeing them in action this year. And this year, they're taking more of an emotional approach to what their experience was a year ago and what was going through their minds and through their hearts while sharing such an impactful story at such a critical time in history. They have prepared some PowerPoints with some of the pictures that I told you briefly of all of our flashcards in the room, of our milk tea party that kept us going with the sugar rush. And they're going to speak about what it was for them. And myself, even as their teacher, even as their friend, I myself haven't heard this story from them yet. Not only that, but we will also have even a Korean student who has been in Vietnam for about 4 years. He himself has taken the world stage at TEDx.
Oh, wow.
And today he is sharing a bit about that and a bit about his relationship with him and his sister and how it has shaped him to be an independent youth doer through such a young age at a different country, but yet being able to call himself a dreamer and a doer. So I think that today's session will be full of impact, full of stories and real experience that the youth can relate to and believe that anything is possible, and it just takes action followed by failure and finalized by adaptation and repetition. That is all. It's just the secret of repeating and repeating until you are not counting anymore. And suddenly you find yourself on the same path, on the same vibration, on the same frequency as others. And that allows you to keep connecting to like-minded people and to keep expanding your heart with opportunities to share with others, inspiring others. Because we all have extraordinary stories to share. But being in our comfort space, in our countries, in our cities, in our schools, we begin to think that we are ordinary. But when given the chance, when giving the stage, when taking the stage, our stories become extraordinary. So that's a little bit about what's going to happen today. And we're going to end the session with about 20 minutes of interactive chatting and speaking to let the youth share. How can we continue being connected? What is the next step to take this call for action? So I'm just looking forward to seeing the sparks fly and to just see the magic happen.
And it sounds like a lot of magic is going to happen, Hector. Thank you for that. I mean, inspiring, big, continued connectedness. And I love and appreciate you speaking about, an emotional journey, because I think, of course, the pandemic has highlighted a huge amount of emotional problems that people have suffered as a direct consequence of the impact of COVID, but also that we're all on this emotional roller coaster, and that you're not alone in the problems that we face. And together we can design big things, and have lasting impact. Thank you very much for joining, for making time to do this quick introduction interview with myself. I'm really looking forward. I know that there are many people that have signed up for the workshop that we're going to be having later, the X Talks. So thank you very much for your valuable contribution to Family Makers Day. And we look forward to the X Talks in action later. Thank you, Hector.
Thank you very much as well. It's been my pleasure. And see everybody. I will see you soon.
Yes, see you
about
later. Thank
2
you.
hours and a half. Goodbye, everybody.
At 3 o'clock. Bye-bye.
Bye.
just like to end off today's session. It's been an amazing day of dreaming, of doing, of inspiration, of action, of thinking, and really everyone collectively contributing to the positive change that we would like to see. On behalf of Open Design Africa 2021, I would again like to thank our sponsors, the Western Cape Department of Sports and Culture, the V&A Waterfront in Cape Town, Decorex Africa, and 100% Design Africa for making today possible. Thank you very much to everyone who joined us online. Thank you very much to our partners across the world, to our participants across the world. Thank you for making today really, really valuable, and everything that you have brought to Family Makers Day 2021. Ciao.